Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
What's going on with the camera here?
I'm just waving to Ryan.
Hey there, Molly.
Molly Brown, you can see on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream Molly's feet. So I don't know what's going on, but
That wasn't her
Hey
foot.
now.
That was her hand. Get out of here, Jim.
My foot was in there.
yeah, her foot. She's sitting on her foot.
Well, then why are you putting your foot there, Molly? Get your foot out of the camera shot.
I don't know, but
What
am
are
I
you
getting
doing?
paid for this?
I don't know what.
I'll
so,
direct you to Jesse Nelson when
on
it
the
comes to
ESPN
compensation
Madison
questions.
YouTube page. Again, this is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
We are in the Everlight Solar studio. Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you, Primetime Lorsheim. So we start up the show on this YouTube, and the camera was zoomed in on Molly's feet. So what's going on?
It's just a lazy camera, you know.
Is that what Ryan was looking at the entire time that we've been in here watching basketball?
I
Just
haven't
my
even
feet?
been. I haven't been in this
Technically,
room.
Hunter was in there.
This is Hunter's room. Yeah, exactly. So here's what happens: is that sometimes the cameras they get out of position. In order to fix it, that's why I ran in the room just before the show was starting. I had to fix that camera, reposition it, restart it essentially during the break between KBN and our show. And when that happens, sometimes the camera just puts
A mind
itself
of
in a
its
weird
own.
space. Yeah, it has a mind of its own. So for some
So
reason,
the
camera
camera's a
was
freak.
the camera was focused on Molly's shoe,
Not
not
to
her feet,
yuck
her
anyone's
shoe.
yum. But, yeah.
Well, I'll yuck that yum at work.
Okay.
I think in
All
a
right.
workplace. That's
Shame
fair.
on you, camera.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
And
So-
now it's just stuck on Matt's face. Ugh.
I don't know. What would you rather see? 844-770-3776. Crowd was talking text line. Matt's face or Molly's feet?
I have a feeling that this poll is going to go incredibly wrong.
Yeah.
I'm a bottomless pit.
There's no win for this one. For me, at least.
Badgers won. They won
Yeah.
70-63. And great win for Wisconsin. Nolan Winter, friend of show, regular on the jump around. You can see him on the jump around on ESPN Madison. That show is on Thursdays at 12:30 on ESPN Madison's YouTube stream. 18.6 rebounds, and he was plus 22 in the plus minus. And he's got a big wrap of ice on his shoulder because he is definitely dealing with a shoulder injury. And great to see him go out and have a big game for the Badgers. Northwestern stinky, but still, the score is closer than the way that game went.
Oh, I thought
So it's a beatdown?
I'm sorry, the score is, it was
it was closer than what it should have been.
Yes.
That's what he said.
Oh, okay.
You guys got me all thrown off. Nobody
Yes.
said anything. I thought someone would jump
I
in.
was trying to figure out exactly if you meant exactly what you
Yes.
said. Because
The Badgers-
it seemed like there was some hesitation.
The first half was tight. The Badgers throttled them for most of the second half, but the last couple minutes just got a little sloppy.
Take that for that.
Yeah, they pulled
But
away
there was
and
no
then got
concern
too
of
close.
losing.
No,
In the
but
second
I
half.
did ask the question: are the Packers? Are the Badgers gonna bleep the bed with like a minute and a half left because they were only up by like 10 points? So it just felt like, oh gosh,
The time you
This
would have
is
worried
not-
about it
We're
didn't
was
gonna
feel like
bleed.
it, but it felt like it.
right,
You know what I mean?
Okay.
right before the end of the first half. Tanjay hit a big three to give him, I think, a 7-point lead or something like that going into and that made it look a lot better. That was the time it was more the crap the bed sort of concern. The Badgers
Fair.
had 17 points off of turnovers. Looks like they're going to face UCLA next. UCLA is the 4 seed, and the Badgers lost to UCLA earlier this year. And I am curious to see how Max Klesman and Nolan Winter bounce back. Both those players are playing through injuries. Don't fool yourself of, yes, they both played, but they're not fully healthy and trying to get right back at it tomorrow. We'll see. Sometimes Matt, you can speak. Sometimes get right back at it is the best thing for it, but it's really kind of depends on how your body responds. Because sometimes getting back after it, if Nolan's in there hitting his shoulder against people, having to box people out, and that could just over time it's just going to get worse. And I don't know exactly Klesman's injury. It was a lower body injury, so sometimes playing over and over again kind of keeps everything loose, but sometimes it can get a lot worse.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting too when you think about like it in this particular tournament. If they drop, like say they lose the next game, you get a couple extra days of rest for those guys. So like It's not.
If they had lost this, though, they would have been a 5 seed. So they're already a 4. They're the bottom 4 seed. So they needed to win this one. For the next tournament, they would have been a 5 seed, which really danced on
I
disaster.
guess I was wondering, like, at what point, like, does losing affect their? They're probably going to end up in the big dance, the big tournament.
I think they're good now. I think if they beat UCLA, I think they're still a 4 seed, maybe a higher 4 seed. If they somehow get to then play Michigan State and beat Michigan State to get to the final, then they might get their way back to a 3 seed. But right now, I think they'll remain static. The loss to Penn State locked them in, made them basically.
What's more important?
I think the 4 seed, holding that 4 seed. I think it's fine if they lose to UCLA.
But you're saying like we've locked it now by beating Northwestern.
I think so.
What's more important? Getting as far as you can in this Big Ten championship, or having a fully healthy squad going into March Madness?
Well, it's one day. I mean, I guess if they lose tomorrow, I mean, it's really a day or two difference.
You know me.
I know.
I swear by a day is much better than one less day.
And Tauscher and others we talked to.
I know, it sounds crazy, Molly.
But
I understand.
The longer the window. So in this case, I guess if they lose tomorrow, they'll have a little bit, most likely, I guess, I don't know if they'll play Thursday or Friday, somewhere between 6 or 7 days. So to your point, that gives them almost a full week. I'm with you on days, but after about 5 days, I think it's kind of in the wash.
Okay.
So do you have faith in this Badger team, like even in the Big Ten tournament, but then into the actual tournament?
I'm more curious, like, how much does this matter to you?
The
as a
Badgers
Badger
have
fan?
not played a good game against a good team since they beat Purdue in the middle of February.
Mm-hmm.
So you like them to say you like to see them beat UCLA and prove to you that they can beat a.
I think it's good to be
competent team.
ramping up your momentum heading into the actual tournament that matters.
Matt, to your point,
But you're not worried about your two of your top 3 players.
I mean, I understand
recovering from injury.
But I'm just talking about
All right,
wins.
844-770-3776. It's the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. I don't know if this is an official Saturday Unlimited poll question, but what's more important to you? The Badgers winning the Big Ten tournament title or getting healthy?
Getting fully healthy.
Healthier.
Healthier,
Yeah, they're not going to get fully healthy. I don't think what's going on with Nolan or
that's
Max
interesting
is going to
too,
be healthy in a
'cause
week.
If you lock down the win, I'm just saying, like, get farther. Do you want them to beat UCLA? Would you like to have them have an entire week off, or do you want them playing into the weekend?
I think they're going to lose to Michigan State regardless. So
Mm-hmm.
to your point, I would say play UCLA well, hold your 4 seed, look respectable, lose on the last minute of the game,
Right.
not in an embarrassing fashion. I'm fine with that actually. Now I still don't.
And then heal up and get into that tournament with full health.
Yes, because also I'm really the Badgers have not beaten. This is a LeBron stat, so I'm having some fun. But the Badgers right now beating Northwestern was the first team they beat in March of a team that didn't fire their head coach. They had lost their 2 other.
That's interesting.
No, it's a LeBron stat because they lost to Michigan State in March and they lost to Penn State in March, and then they beat Minnesota, who fired their coach Ben Johnson at like midnight last night. And so until they beat
A lot of Ben Johnsons.
and
Are
then
the Bears picking them up?
yeah, Northwestern.
I like this guy's chutzpah.
then Northwestern today, and I think Northwestern's going to keep their coach because Northwestern, not their best season, but they lost 2 starters this year. Their number 1 rebounder and their top 3-point scorer. So it was a depleted Northwestern team that did still finish 17-16 and 13 seed in the Big Ten.
Ryan, the psychedelic advisor, chimes in and says, has anyone ever said that Matt sometimes sounds like the character Chris Griffin on Family Guy?
I haven't heard that one.
I haven't heard that one yet either.
Now we got to listen to it.
Importance-
It's not bad. It's not a bad comp.
Isn't that like Seth Green?
Yeah, it is Seth Green. Yep.
Yeah. Never
Good.
gotten that one.
Do you kind of look like the character too?
Chris?
I got to look it up.
No.
You kind of do. I think you do. Doesn't he have long blonde hair?
Yeah. A little overweight. A little more overweight than I would like to think I am, but
Yeah, that's
I wasn't
if that's
talking
what you
about
see,
that.
Molly, that's what you see.
a little mean.
I wasn't talking about that guy or like about that part of him.
So
I was just talking about,
So, side note here. Did you look like?
You look like him today. He wears a blue shirt, a hat, and has his hair hanging down. Just let
Matt?
your hair loose.
Just let my hair go?
Yeah.
Matt's got better facial hair.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have any facial hair,
Right.
so there's nothing to compare to.
Yes.
I was
All right,
just
that
being mean right
makes
now.
sense.
Honestly,
Chris
it's
Coleman
fair.
is lemonade.
I was mean earlier. I was mean before.
Play
What
one
was
more
that?
time.
That was Stewie.
No, they did play Chris next. Play it again.
All right, that'll be 10 cents. Chris, pour the man his lemonade.
I can't. The lemonade tricked me and got away.
Maybe that's how pre-pubescent Matt Hamilton
The
sounded.
lemonade tricked me. It got away.
Like Matt's
You do
voice is
sound
a
like that.
little deeper.
You're just
To
being
give him a
nice.
little bit of credit there. Also, I think Chris has got 100 pounds on Matt. So,
Yes, I'm not
no,
saying.
Chris is 2D. He can have more weight on me. He's a cartoon character.
All right, foot fetish it is.
well,
That's Matt for sure.
that's appropriate
As we
to
proved at
start
the
there.
beginning of the show,
Yeah.
guys.
We proved. Yep. As we proved.
So the Badgers will likely play. I think I said like around 1:30 tomorrow. Badger basketball won if you're just tuning in. But Matt, there was 2 bad beats according to ESPN Bet. What was the line for this Badger game?
It ended at, I think, 8.5.
8.5, and there was a 3 made by Northwestern with about 15 seconds to go, and obviously the Badgers then just dribbled it out. So that 3 took it from a 10-point lead for the Badgers to a 7-point lead for the Badgers. That's kind of a bad beat.
Yeah, that's
But
bad
it's not.
beat.
Yeah, but then you get to Marquette, who beat Xavier, and they were winning by 4 with basically no time left. They made their free throws, or was it 4 or 5? Either way, it doesn't. It won't
Would
affect
have
the
been
line.
5 because then didn't they win by 2?
Okay, so they're winning by 5. The line was 2.5 at the start of the game. Xavier takes a half-court-ish shot. I don't know if it was exactly before or right past the half court, and they nail the 3 as time expires to make it a 2-point game. So that is both bad beats, but that bad beat is worse.
Yeah. Yeah. You hate to see it if you bet on the favorites there.
We are in Wisconsin. There is probably someone, I don't know if listening or just in this state, who just got double bad beat because it's not out of the possibility that you would bet the Badgers and Marquette.
And his name is Alex Strofe.
I was going to say Jesse Nelson, actually.
True, him too.
No idea. Irrelevant.
Bruss could be in that as well.
Yep.
Now, I would not have bet the Badgers 10 over Northwestern. Just the way the Badgers have played, I just wouldn't.
8.5?
Or 8.5. No, I wouldn't have touched that one. I just wouldn't have touched it. I thought the Badgers would win. I would have bet them to win if you just gave me like a pick 'em.
Yeah. What would you think it would actually be? Like a 5-point game?
I still think the Badgers. Does this make sense? I just didn't have a great confidence that they were going to win by a lot, and so that's why I would have thought like 5 to 10. But if I'm going to bet an 8.5, I want to feel like they're going to win by like 15 or 16.
Okay.
The Badgers let Minnesota hang around.
Mm-hmm.
They lost embarrassingly to Penn State, and so I thought they were going to beat Northwestern and pull away a little bit at the end. But I still went to bet 8.5. Would you have?
Nah.
The way they played this.
Honestly, I'm just kind of a homer. I would probably do it just for, bet in the favor that my heart wants to go. Just
I
because
get
then I
that, but
can
when you're betting the
really
line-
get behind it.
When
Yeah,
you're
I-
betting the line, I don't.
No, I agree. It's
I
an
just wouldn't
ugly
have touched
line.
it. I wouldn't have bet against them. That's no fun. I just wouldn't have touched it.
I wouldn't have bet it because I actually, like in the beginning of this game, I sat in this room and I was like, don't have a feeling that Wisconsin's going to win. Just
Not confident
got a bad
with
feeling.
that 10
I
point
do.
lead. I'm not confident right
Well,
now.
just
That's
Jim
fair.
said it before. In March, not great. I know it's only the Big Ten tournament right now, but I
And
just
it's only Northwestern.
wouldn't touch it.
Interesting.
844-770-3776. Do you want the Badgers to win the Big Ten title if you had a choice, or go ahead and lose against UCLA so they can get healthy for the NCAA tournament? Because I think I don't think beating UCLA, and Ryan, you're a big bracketologist guy. You follow some of these Ken Palmer and Lenardi. Not that
Yeah,
he does his own.
I read them with my glasses because
No.
I have glasses.
You don't make
Yeah.
your own, but you're the one in the
He
jump
looks like he would, though.
in the jump around group chat. He's the one sending a lot of the bracketologies, and
It's important. It's important to know where their potential matchups, where their roads could be for March.
so in my mind, beating UCLA won't move them off the 4-seed line, but if they beat Michigan State, it would. Is that where? Are you with me on that?
Yeah, beating UCLA probably keeps them at chalk. That way they don't go down, they don't go up. I think that's where everyone has them at right now. Like you said, sort of that middle-ish maybe
What
4
about
seed.
What about losing to them?
Losing to them, then you could fall down to a 5 seed,
You think
depending
that
on
falls?
depending on how things play out in some other conference tournaments. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's possible. I think though, yeah, if they beat Michigan State, they definitely jump back up to 3 seed territory right away because Michigan State will almost definitely be a 2 seed in the tournament. So, and on top of that, you're avenging a loss from earlier in the season, so your resume looks a lot better when you beat that team on a neutral site, especially in a game where they were pretty close with Michigan State for most of it, and then they pulled away at the end. So I think avenging that loss in the Big Ten tournament, even if you don't win the tournament at that point, that could get them back to that low 2 seed area, which that'd be pretty big. That'd be huge.
Huge. The team at Canopy Wealth Management takes time to truly get to know and understand the dynamics of your values, goals, and plans for your financial future. Their local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry to the table for the benefit of their clients. At Canopy Care, competence and clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
For their accounts payable workflow, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin implemented a document management and workflow automation solution from James Imaging Systems. Junior Achievement Vice President of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, highlights the positive impact.
That impact has made it much more streamlined for us to handle the entire process from receiving an invoice to having it paid.
How has streamlining your accounts payable workflow benefited Junior Achievement's mission?
It has allowed us to be more on mission and strategically reach out and expand our impact to be able to reach more students.
If others are looking for workflow automation solutions to better serve their clients or customers, what's your suggestion?
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Summer is coming, and it's time to start thinking about your summer job. Jesse Nelson here. Madison School and Community Recreation is now hiring for many positions, including day camp and youth program leaders, support staff for individuals with disabilities, sports instructors and officials, and more. Full and part-time positions with daytime and evening hours are available. No matter your interest, schedule, or location, there's a position for everyone. At MSCR, you can make an immediate impact in the community and gain meaningful experience. Start your summer adventure today. Apply at mscr.org.
When you or a loved one are faced with an unexpected injury or illness, Stoughton Health's Urgent Care is there for you. Stoughton Health has 4 convenient urgent care locations for the care you need without the wait. We have urgent care locations in Stoughton, Oregon, McFarland, and Cottage Grove with extended hours to fit your schedule. Stoughton Health accepts over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan, Quartz, Humana, and more. Please visit stoughtonhealth.com for more information. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
This song slaps. Now, this is definitely Bites an old Roger Troutman song, so Dr. Dre took something and made it, look, adding the bass beat to it and adding to it is awesome, but we do have to acknowledge that the original beat came, I believe, from Roger Troutman. I think that's who it came from. It could have been from maybe George Clinton, the Parliament Funkadelics. Those were popular bands to bite for 90s rap.
That is neat.
You have so much random knowledge, and you display it every day. I don't mean that as a knock. Just you have so much random facts in your head.
That stuff always fascinated me. Like, if you want to have some fun, go look up, like, the songs that rap songs bite from, and it is wild. Maybe I can actually send Ryan a few of them. We can come back to them.
I mean, that's kind of like the whole idea. The background music to start was all different records that you mix together.
Well, even this is Jim, Matt,
DJs.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown, Jim Rutledge with you in the Light Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Even Dave Grohl from Nirvana. There's a video that's viral where he talks about how the bass beat with the drums from Nirvana's "Smells Like Teen Spirit" is exactly the same bass beat from an old Casey and the Sunshine Band disco song. And he said that he basically used that as his jumping off point, and that the bass line for "Smells Like Teen Spirit" is actually an old disco bass beat that obviously they weren't using drums in that song, but he took it and used the same bop,
Right.
bop, 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 and you can hear it in the original, I think it's Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's not even just rap music that borrowed from other, it was rock music as well. The Badgers won. They won 70-63. So if you are a better, that's a bad beat because of the last, I would say less than 30 seconds, maybe 15 seconds ago in the game, there was a 3-pointer to take it from a 10-point lead for the Badgers to a 7-point lead for the Badgers. The line was 8.5. Not as bad as Marquette, who started the game at tip-off, 2.5-point favorite. They were up by 5. Xavier knocked in basically a half-court 3-pointer to knock that down to 2. So 2 bad beats, but both teams in the state of Wisconsin move on. Matt Hamilton did ask an interesting question. It is our first Siding Unlimited poll question. It is posted at Jim, Matt, and Molly. And you can go there and vote for it on Twitter. And we are asking you what's more important for the Badgers, winning the Big Ten tournament or getting healthier for the NCAA tournament? And 67% of you say getting healthier for the NCAA tournament.
So interesting because I feel like the Badgers, you got a shot at winning the Big Ten championship, right?
So we've talked about this.
Like,
again
how
on the
much of a
jump.
shot do you really think they have at winning the
NCAA tournament?
The NCAA tournament.
But nobody cares if you win the Big Ten tournament, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody's.
I guess so, but like there's 2 tournaments. One obviously holds a ton of value. The others hold some.
What percentage of fans, and I'm genuinely curious what you guys think, what percentage of fans only care about what happens during the NCAA tournament for Badger basketball?
Oh, man, I feel like a fair bit.
It's easily over 50%. We agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
So
probably give you that.
I would say that, and I still think that includes
You agree,
Big Ten-
Molly? Over 50% of fans that only care about Badger basketball in March, during March Madness in particular.
Like live and die it.
Or NCAA.
Yeah, because I mean, otherwise, I mean,
because
I don't want to hate on people, but like, what does the rest of the season mean if you don't make it to March?
Right. It means for the players, and I get what you're saying, but it's kind of like we talked about with Matt with Packers football, and that like, hey, like March is where the bragging rights are. And so realistically, fans just want to be able to talk trash and be like, hey, we got to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4. Fans aren't like, hey, we won 27 games and won the Big Ten regular season title in 2000. That's just long to
if
say.
they win the Big Ten title but lose in the first weekend, is that a disappointment for the season?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the Big Ten tournament is a feather in your cap to be like, we're Big Ten championships, or we got to the championship
So, like, if
game
you
in the
get
Big
to the
Ten
Sweet
tournament.
16, but you're like, we also, like, maybe you lose in the Sweet 16, but we also won the Big Ten championship. They're like, this is a respectable season.
Yeah, it's just more of like I think feather in a cap.
I like that. I
So-
think that's good.
If you don't make it to like a named round, I feel like in the NCAA tournament, then it's a letdown, in my opinion.
Especially if you're upset, and especially for the Badgers, we're pushing. I think it's 8 years.
Would
Next
you
year
be
will
more
9 years.
upset if they did well in the Big Ten tournament and then flamed out?
Yeah, isn't that what you just asked?
Well, yeah,
before?
yeah. I guess.
I would rather them lose to
very
UCLA,
interesting.
but then go to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. Like, I'd be happy with that.
The idea of what you're bringing up, Matt, is what happened to the Johnny Davis team, where they went to the championship game of the Big Ten tournament. They lost to Illinois.
And they lost in the round of 32.
And then they lost in the round of 32 to Iowa State. And in a flame-out fashion, for sure.
TJ from the Road said he prefers winning a title going into the Big Ten tournament or going into the NCAA tournament with momentum. So he'd go win the Big Ten title and go into the NCAA tournament with momentum. I'm not a big...
Now, we're basing this off of the idea that Jim has a weekly occurring set with Nolan Winter. So he knows about his shoulder injury in some fashion. So, like, I'm more asking, would you rather be fully healthy because of that?
Right, and that's the key part of getting healthy. Dan Stoughton says getting as far as possible in the Big Ten championship or the Big Ten tournament is way more important. A higher seed is going to give them an easier path to the NCAA tournament, and they're going to need all the help they can get. Plus, you can carry that momentum to the Big Ten tournament. Here's the thing. I get that.
A 3 seed sets you up a lot nicer than a 4 seed.
They have to be. I guess they have to win the whole dang thing because they have to beat Michigan State with any shot for a 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would get you to the championship game. I don't see that happening. That's why I'm more. So I look at it more. In this question, I still would rather take health because I don't think the Badgers beat Michigan State. I think UCLA is going to give them a good run for the money, and I think the Badgers have played one more game than Michigan State to get to Michigan State, and it's a grind right now. And Michigan State, I think, is better and more physical and does what the Badgers do, but better. That I think Michigan State is going to win that game regardless. So I look at it more of like we're talking about one more game, and for me, because I don't think they're winning the title. So to me, their cap is to go lose to Michigan State and still be a 4 seed.
They had a pretty good game, and it was at Michigan State, right?
Yeah, but the second half they got
neutral court this time.
They lost by nearly. I think they lost by 9.
I believe like 7 of those points, 7 points difference came within the last 3 to 4 minutes too.
Yeah, but that second half was when Michigan State got Carr and Richardson back. That game was not as close.
It was not as close, but it is in their house too, and that is the Breslin Center is a true home court advantage of the Big Ten.
And Michigan State is the best team in the Big Ten, and the Badgers are the 5th. The Badgers are 2-7. Is that right against teams that are likely playing the NCAA tournament?
As of right now, well, after, they would still be because that hasn't changed.
Yeah, so they're 2-7. So again, there's not a lot of record that they can beat good teams in the Big Ten. So that's why UCLA will be it's not impossible, but they're going to be dogs for a reason.
I do have to correct myself, by the way. Yeah. The year that the Johnny Davis team lost, that team actually lost to Michigan State in the first round of the Big Ten tournament that year, or in their first game of the Big Ten tournament. That might have been the third round of the tournament, but and then they went and beat Colgate and then lost to Iowa State. I was getting confused with the last season when they lost to Illinois in the Big Ten championship and then lost to James Madison first round.
Wait, so it was I forgot that they lost to James Madison last year.
Wait,
so the Johnny Davis year, it was a disappointment.
Congrats.
I feel like I got a good pulse of the team.
Well, what do you think for this year then?
Judgmental Jim.
I got to see what happens next few. Right now, I mean, obviously, I have to see what they do here. Are they going to get back?
They're losing to UCLA next, and then
my pulse is that they're gonna. I don't know. They're gonna give it's gonna be a hell of a game against UCLA. I think it'll come down to the wire.
Okay.
I don't know if they're gonna win that, but I feel like they're gonna lose to Michigan State, and then I got to see what they do in the Big Ten. I mean, see where they fall in the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad matchup for them last year, more than anything else. Like a team that plays fast and physical and aggressive,
so bad.
those are terrible words for last year's Badger basketball team.
I really hate when I get a crew to go watch it somewhere, and then it's just an absolute.
We got Evan Cohen coming up next. The one thing for me for the Big Ten title is I find it the most important. If you win the regular season title, winning the Big Ten tournament title just adds a little extra oomph. It's kind of like when in the NBA, if you win the regular season MVP and then you win the Finals MVP, that's a true those are rare. Win the Big Ten regular season title, win the Big Ten tournament title, that's a really special season. It doesn't happen a lot. So to me, the time it matters the most is either if you're a team, we see every once in a while that, let's say, I'm trying to think here, if there was a fringe team that's on the, I guess I'll just use Northwestern lost, but let's say Northwestern ran all the way to the Big Ten title and won, that's an automatic bid. So those are fun to root for because then that team that maybe wouldn't have been in the tournament gets in because they win the Big Ten title. Those are fun and something that I want to keep an eye on, and you'll never forget that season as a fan. Or if you pull off the duel of regular season and tournament, because that's pretty cool. Carbon World Health is cool. Literally, you can go into the cryo chamber of Carbon World Health, and basically you're not going to drop your core temperature, but you are going to be able to get all the positive effects of those ice baths without having to get soaking wet without having to freeze and drop your core temperature. Ask them about the cryo chamber. Over at Carbon World Health, they also have red light therapy and, of course, GLP-1s and hormone optimization. Go to carbonworldhealth.com to learn more. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Evan Cohen coming up next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
But
I've never seen the movie either.
I've only seen the
Really?
Yeah, I have no interest in the movie.
Oh my gosh, the movie is terrible. Terribly awesome. Did you just touch my butt, Dewey? I know your tricks, Dewey. What? I quote that all the time.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Ready to live the high life at home? Miller High Life is giving one lucky winner the ultimate backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with classic bar vibes, neon lights, and of course, plenty of high life. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bars in the Madison area and register with the link to the Miller High Life Backyard Dive Bar giveaway. Get a ticket to Dive Bar Glory at your local watering hole, like the Shack Bar and Grill, Mount Vernon Tap, the Wisco, and the Keg in DeForest.
Dinner just got easier and tastier. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Hut Bundle is here to save the day. Starting at just $24.99, you can get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings in your favorite flavor, and your choice of cinnamon, cheese, or breadsticks with 2 dips. Feed the family or wow your friends without breaking the bank. The Ultimate Hut Bundle is only here for a limited time. Hurry in and order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
You got them winning the Big Ten tournament?
I got them winning it all. I'm gonna say it's happening. Let's get magical, man. Let's do this. March is here.
I have them beating Northwestern, losing to Michigan State, getting a 4 seed. I had them as the 4th or 5th best team in the Big Ten for the majority of the season. And I think that's what they are, and I think that's what they'll finish as.
The Jump Around podcast with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias. Streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
But, it seems like you're deferring to someone that's not actually on the show. And she's already your girlfriend. Friends are people that you're honest with no matter what. So I'm questioning whether or not you actually know how to be friends with someone.
He doesn't need a pat on the back. He's not you.
Well,
who's a good co-host?
And Evan Cohen, who co-hosts Unsportsmanlike right here on ESPN Radio.
From Madison to the Big Apple, it's time for Evan Cohen on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. I am Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. Primetime Warshine with us as well. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Molly and I are supporting the Badgers today. Matt Hamilton.
Did you know that there was a Badger game today?
Yeah, Jim had mentioned it, but I guess I just forgot when I was getting dressed that there was a Badger game. I knew there was one today. I forgot when I was getting dressed.
You're usually pretty good at themes. That's why I asked.
Yeah, you are Mr. Go all in guy. You don't know what's happening with the teams, but if they're playing, you are dressing.
I'm aware. Normally,
you are.
yeah. I'm going to the a volleyball game tonight, so I guess I was getting
partner love volleyball.
Like that.
Yeah, okay, you were thinking about that. I got you. So we are joined by Badger alum, host of Unsportsmanlike here on ESPN Madison. You can hear that weekday mornings. Evan Cohen. Evan, how you doing?
Guys, how are you? Molly, welcome back. At least for me, welcome back.
Yes, thank you. It's good to talk to you again.
Back at you.
Evan, I'm not sure if you got a chance to actually see the Northwestern Badgers game. And that part, the Badgers handled the business. The game looked better for the Badgers than the actual score does. But we were talking about how Nolan Winter, who's a regular guest on the Jump Around on Thursdays on ESPN Madison's YouTube, is dinged up with a shoulder injury. Max Klesman just came back with lower body injury. So this team is pretty beat up. And Matt kind of brought up the idea that maybe it's better for the Badgers because outside of winning against UCLA and maybe Michigan State, the Badgers probably locked in the 4 seed. So it might be just better for them to go ahead and lose to UCLA, have extra time to recover, and focus on March Madness, what fans care about, the big, the NCAA tournament. Or do you think it's important for them if they make a big run and win the Big Ten tournament? What would you prefer, win the Big Ten tournament or be healthy or healthier for the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, Jim, so I have not watched any Badger basketball or any college basketball this year. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I have. What I can, so I'm on the Matt Hamilton School of Prep for this. What I can tell you is, it's funny you say this. Can I bring a bigger picture question to you? Because I was having a conversation with another Badger yesterday about the overall state of athletics and wondering, should the goal be, and we've talked about this, I think, relative to football. I think a couple weeks ago we said, all right, is it more of a basketball school, football school? Where do we have a better chance of winning the national championship? So in this case, Final Four, do we have a better chance of going to the Final Four, let's just say, by resting now and playing later, or playing now and playing later?
I actually think resting. I think Winter and Klesman are pretty beat up, and they're very important. So I'd rather have them be a little bit healthy. Because I'm going to chalk up their stumbling in March to injuries and being worn out, as opposed to they just were figured out, which is my concern. But and actually, Evan, I think Wisconsin is a women's sports school. The hockey team's got 3 people up, 3 women up for Player of the Year, and Badger volleyball, obviously, dominant team. But the hockey is, I think, a favorite or likely to go win.
I love that.
Yeah, go and win.
Can we promote the hell out of that? We can even give you credit for, well, not credit for the women's sports, but credit for at least the slogan that way.
Yeah,
you
can tell Rutledge that. Right? I mean, we all agree. Badgers is a women's athletic program, and that's the school we are. Women's hockey and volleyball are dominant.
Yeah.
Those are the most dominant sports we are in.
Okay, so here's what I would like. Because obviously I'm a shill for free gear. I know there's people with the university who listen to a lot of the station from what I've gathered. So if they're listening to the station, send me Wisconsin women's sports gear, and I'll wear it on TV. Let's go.
I love it.
That's fun.
Get on that, Mac.
Let's get me a Wisconsin women's volleyball hoodie or something like that. Let's go.
Lucky Bob.
Kindred spirits, Evan. I'm wearing one today. But I had to pay for mine. I'm not Evan Cohen, so I had to pay for mine. You and Matt can get your stuff for free. I had to go buy it.
I'm sure I'll see the coach today.
What's that?
I'll go in and
see Kelly Sheffield.
Yeah, I'll see Kelly at the game. He
You
goes
go to
to the
every
Love
game?
games every once in a while.
There you go.
Yeah,
And you're
maybe,
just going to
maybe
leave
I'll talk to
with,
Kelly.
hey,
And
by
then
the way,
hey,
I don't know if
Kelly.
you hear this guy on our station in the morning and see him on TV, but you know he's a Wisconsin basketball alum. Oh, my God. A Wisconsin Badger alum. You may want to send us something. By the way, my first ever sporting event I covered as a member of the student media at the University of Wisconsin was a women's volleyball game.
I'll lead with that.
Full circle. Evan, I want to ask you about the Green Bay Packers and this free agency. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on their lack of action during this free agency period?
Mike, doesn't it represent the rest of the last 20 years of Packers off seasons versus what we saw last year? Isn't this more like in line with everything that Goody and Ted Thompson, may rest in peace, prior did in comparison to the Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney year? Like, isn't this off season with what they've done more in line with that? Am I wrong about that?
No, I think you're right. But I think me, as a Packer fan, and maybe other Packers fans, believed that, hey, maybe last year was the turning point that kind of lit the fire under Goody, and maybe he was going to proceed making moves like that moving forward.
All right. This is very good. Now we're going to get somewhere. I'm going to now maybe take you for a little bit of a spin on this one.
Go for it.
Let me ask you guys a question. As a whole, would we agree, leading question, would we agree that both Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney as individual players on this team last year exceeded expectations? Would we agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Would we agree as a whole the Green Bay Packers as a team fell short of expectations last year?
I mean, I said they'd be the 7th seed again, but I think overall, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So is there a question to be had as to whether or not Goody looked at last offseason as unsuccessful?
Because he did not exceed expectations?
Because the team did not exceed expectations. Meaning, like, if you find individuals that exceed expectations but don't help the rest of the team exceed expectations, who cares?
But also the two players.
If your job is the team builds.
The two players that he picked up, though, were two of the most successful players on the roster.
Right. So sometimes when you have individual success, you're too reliant on those guys and not the sum of the parts. I'm not suggesting, well, Josh Jacobs was an A-plus running back. You should have found an A-minus running back. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is it's cool if you find the individual that's awesome, that he or she had an awesome year, but if the team didn't, for a guy like Goody, who went outside of the comfort zone to pick up those two guys, I'm just assuming here or guessing, he may have looked at that as, I don't want to do that again. Because even though I hit on those two, I didn't hit on the team.
Okay.
It's an interesting point. We got two better wins and two more wins than we had the year prior. And I think the bigger thing is, rather than the team exceeding and underachieving expectations, I would say Jordan Love exceeded expectations and then...
What? Last year?
No, 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then last year, underachieved. And I would...
Right.
I don't think that's as much on Goody and the picks he went and got had that much relevance on Jordan Love's slide back.
Okay, let me explain it better. Let's take names out. Let me take names out for a second, okay? I have a philosophy of doing something. It works for 15 years. And my philosophy garners me, let's just do in like school grades, it garners me a 90% every single year. I change my philosophy. I now got an 85. Regardless of what happened within that philosophy, I changed my philosophy and my grade was lowered. Maybe he's going back to the grade that got him a 90.
But do you think the Packers fans have a right to be frustrated then with how they've handled free agency this year, even if that is his philosophy?
Not if the result is better, Molly.
So let's look at the results. Over the last 4 years, the team has missed the playoff, have not won the division, has won one playoff game. Is that Packers' success? One playoff victory, no division titles over the last 3 years, and you missed the playoffs in one of those years, and you're back-to-back 7 seeds, a seed that didn't exist 6 years ago. So is that the new success for the Packers?
There's a trend in sports right now. If you look at it, a lot of these teams that we have blind faith in historically, we probably don't look closely enough at because they're still competitive enough as to what the fault would be. For example, you brought the Packers. Steelers feel like they're in that boat, right? I know the Yankees were in the World Series last year, but like if you do the composite like you just did, Jim, like I'm not sure that the Yankees feel like the Yankees. My basketball team that I'm rooting for, obviously in Miami, if you look at the last 4 or 5 years, they're like a play-in team every year, but they end up in the finals, 2 of them, right? It's just like, but then it's like we're accrediting. It's funny because we have this lined up for tomorrow a little bit, and you led me into this for Unsportsmanlike at 5 here on ESPN Madison.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's like the teams that you look at, and you're like, oh, they're championship teams, but like if you're 20 years old, you were 3 when the Steelers won a championship.
Yeah.
Like if you were 20 years old right now, that means you were born in 2005, right? That means you were, what, 5 or 6 when the Packers won a title?
Yeah, it was about 15 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
It just, like, I'm just saying, we probably say, oh, like, I am guilty of this. Green Bay Packers, oh, they're amazing. Goody's the best GM in the league, which I always say. And then Jim just threw me for a loop. Missed the playoffs, haven't won a division, and won 1 playoff game. Like, what? How did that happen?
Did you just say that you think that Goody is the best GM in the league?
I did prior to this past year, yeah. I mean, I still kind of do a little bit, Molly, but I look at it a little differently maybe than the average everyday fan would. Not that I'm better, I'm just weirder. I look at ability to make tough decisions and have such envy. He made such a tough decision with Aaron Rodgers, and he was so right.
Well, speaking of Aaron
Like,
Rodgers,
I envy that, right? It's like when I was with Jim in Florida and, like, I kicked him out of the state, and I'm like, God, that's a tough decision that I made, and I was so right, you know? So, like, I feel I can relate to the tough decisions. I hope I'm making sense. I have a point in my head that it was a departure from his norm last year, and I don't think they overachieved. So maybe he doesn't want to depart the norm anymore.
almost scares him a little bit.
It's not worth getting out of his comfort zone if he's not going to exceed expectations.
Yeah, totally.
Do we think that the Smith brothers wasn't a big splash?
But again, that was what 4 or 5 years. It was like this little. Was that under Henry? Was that him? That was his first year.
Second, I believe.
Okay,
that was his second off season.
Yeah, so it is like a little bit of a break in between.
I believe you said 4 years the
So
other
it's a
day.
1 on, 1 off?
No, it's like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 1 on, 3 or 4 off.
But you know, with Preston and Zadarius Smith, correct me if I'm wrong, they were not as big name guys as Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney were.
You're absolutely correct.
That's correct.
Like we're talking about 2 Alabama guys, so we knew them in college, and one guy that's a running back, so we really knew him, and the other guy, I mean, Saban specializes in secondary, so we knew McKinney.
Did people know Adrian Amos at the time? They also signed him that offseason.
From the Bears?
From the Bears.
You would know him.
He was relatively well known. I mean, they were 3 relatively well known signings.
But prime time, not as much as Josh Jacobs.
Definitely not. No.
Those like
people just by general knowledge is assume that average everyday fan listening right now all over Madison knows everyone they could draft on their fantasy team, but no one else. And I'm not meaning that in an insulting sort of way, but if like you can draft them in fantasy, you can probably assume the majority of the audience knows them.
Hey, Matt
knows.
Josh Jacobs. You want to know about someone if they're a good fantasy player. Matt Hamilton is your guy. Like that's his favorite player is good fantasy players. So you're 100% right.
Well, then that's why Jacobs would be the number 1 name free agent signing that they probably had.
Evan, you did bring
Jim. What did you say? Sorry, wait. One thing, Molly.
Nope, you're good.
Jim, you summarized what I was saying in a better way than I did. If you're going to go out of your comfort zone, you better exceed expectations, or he's going to go right back to his comfort zone.
Exactly.
That's really what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay. 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 I just want to make sure everybody's done. It's okay. Evan, you did bring up Aaron Rodgers before. We were talking about it yesterday, just kind of guessing where he's going to land. Where do you think he's going to end up?
Guys, you're going to have to help me on this because I am so confused. So let's rewind. During the season on our show, Chris Canty, who played 11 years in the NFL and won a Super Bowl. And a lot of times when CC makes these bold predictions, people are like, oh, he's nuts, he's wild. And then he ends up being right on like so many of them. During the course of the season, he said, Aaron Rodgers is done after this year. And I was like, I don't know about that. Then as the season progressed, I was like, oh, my God, he's going to be right. Then I heard the Giants reports, and then I was like, oh, he's going to actually sign the first day of free agency. Now, the Steelers are clearly interested, and he's not in Pittsburgh. Why not? What the hell is he waiting for? If you're going to tell me Minnesota, why would Minnesota want him? What am I missing on this, Matt? I know
Matt, you're the guy.
Worship the ground. I know, Matt. You worship the ground he walks on because he once said hi to you. Explain this.
You know, I just think he's doing what he's done for the last couple of years. He tries to hold the offseason hostage in any way he can, and not signing anywhere. Maybe he's going to either let the NFL retire him or he's going to go about business as usual.
Ayahuasca.
You just hit on something. Are we sure he's not going to retire, guys?
I don't think he's retiring.
I really think he wants to play, but I also don't think he'll play for a team that's has no shot.
Again, why is he not in Pittsburgh?
Exactly. No, I think that's a good move for him.
I think he wants someone, whether it's Minnesota or Pittsburgh, to basically beg for him. Yes, exactly. You have to show me.
You know what? Screw that. Then if you're Pittsburgh, there's no guarantee that Russell Wilson is going to be worse than Aaron Rodgers, or better said, there's no guarantee that Aaron Rodgers is going to be better than Russell Wilson. Get Russell Wilson back for less money. You're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. Don't do this. It's embarrassing.
I agree.
What's happening now?
They're better than Aaron Rodgers. Like where Aaron Rodgers is now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are better than this.
Yeah, agreed. But football teams also really like to have quarterbacks that they believe in, and there's not a ton out there available right now.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to mess around and find out.
Maybe.
And I think he's going to get left with like the Giants and retire.
Yeah, but Jim, I'm not sure that that's not what he wants.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think you play the victim.
So do you think that he just wants somebody else to make the decision for him, so then he's not necessarily the bad guy?
No, I think there's a spin on this that he actually really just wants to go to the Giants, but it is so blatantly pathetic to choose the Giants over the Steelers that it's like, oh, I wanted to take my time. I was on vacation and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, the Giants were the best offer. They were the only one left. I would have considered Pittsburgh, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, that didn't happen that way. And I just think that, like, part of this is he probably wants to go to the Giants because that's where he'd have the most power, the most say, the most control. And there's never been an example that he wants to be coached. Ever.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm not. There's no good argument against that.
Basically, all the worries about Aaron Rodgers when he was coming into the league reared their ugly head towards the end of his career. About being a prima donna and uncoachable and all those sorts of things, that why he fell, like he had to put away for a little bit. But the second he earned the right to just do whatever he wanted to do, he went right back to who he was.
Well, I wouldn't say the second. Realistically, the second could have been 2011. He didn't really go nuts until 2017.
Yeah, but then there was Jermichael Finley and Jeff Saturday. There was players leaking out saying, "Look, this guy's not as good as everyone. Like, is such a great dude that everyone thinks he is." Like, things were leaking out about him for a while.
I mean,
but he was winning, and nobody cared.
There's always drama about players.
You hear a lot about Mahomes and Brady?
I don't. Mahomes isn't on my register.
Jim,
not paying attention.
Jim.
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah.
Let's just be real about this. We have to stop, and I've done it too. We have to stop comparing Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
That's
He's
fair.
not even close to them. He's not even close to them, and I'm not even talking about on the field.
Yes.
There's just what he does every year, all the time, is so foreign to guys like Brady and guys like Mahomes. They would never do the stuff that he's done. Never.
No. Probably
You're not
not.
wrong. Mm-hmm.
Evan, awesome stuff. We really appreciate it.
I still don't know why you guys think he's not in Pittsburgh. And by the way, I'm not blaming you. I don't think there's an answer.
Yeah, my answer is that Pittsburgh's not showing him exactly what he wants. And he's just going to – he wants to be showered with love and affection and be made to feel like he's Aaron Rodgers of 6 years ago.
I'm just rooting for him to become a Minnesota Viking. So I'm hoping he says no to the Steelers.
Because for the storyline purposes, Molly, for the show, or because you want to kick his butt, or because you actually want to root for him? What?
I definitely don't want to root for him. I'll actively root against him if he goes to the Minnesota Vikings. But I want the storyline. I want there to be that competitive juice. Like, I think with the Lions and Bears and the Vikings all continuing to seem like they're on the up and up and up, I think that's just creating more and more competition within the NFC North. And so I would just love for that to grow. I almost want it to happen in the same way that I want Caleb Williams to be good. I just don't want Caleb Williams to be good against the Packers. Are you following my train here? Like, I don't want what?
Too late.
I mean, yes, the Packers almost lost twice to the Bears this past season. We know. But it's like I just want there to be that competitive juice between the Vikings and Packers that much more. But I just want Rodgers to suck against the Packers. That's how I feel.
I think you have a safe bet that he will.
Savage. Okay. Well, let's hope he becomes a Minnesota Viking, honestly.
I don't know why they'd consider it. All right, I know you said goodbye. I'm sorry.
No
Bye-bye.
problem. Thanks, Evan. Listen to Evan weekday mornings here on ESPN Madison. Right now I'm going to give away some beer. So what number?
The Badgers did not cover the 8.5-point line because they only won by 7. So we're going to go caller number 7 today.
Caller number 7 wins a case of High Life, 844-770-3776. Caller number 7 wins a case of High Life, 844-770-3776.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Wisconsin women's hockey guaranteed to have the nation's top player this season. 3 Badgers named finalists for the Patty Kazmaier Award: Layla Edwards, Caroline Harvey, and Casey O'Brien. Just the second time ever a program has produced all 3 finalists. Wisconsin soon to be tied with Harvard for the most Kazmaier Award recipients. Winner announced Saturday, March 22nd. Hopefully the same weekend the Badgers will be chasing after their 8th national title. Wisconsin faces either Boston University or Clarkson Saturday at LeBron Arena. Winner advances to the Frozen Four in Minneapolis.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has had business technology from James Imaging Systems for several years. Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services, explains why.
We started with the document imaging, and I have to say that the service and support has been fantastic.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
Lori, what's your recommendation to others that aren't getting that kind of attention from their business technology company?
Please call James Imaging, because they will work with you to make sure that you find a solution that can make you more efficient and productive.
Make the call, 608-221-3457, or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare, with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Tyler Haney, Sun Prairie West.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you started out at Sun Prairie.
Yeah.
And freshman year, new school opens. What was that like?
It was definitely a shocker because we were at Chums still, so I wasn't even at the high school, but I was playing for our Sun Prairie team. Growing up, I was like, this is going to be my high school when I went to all these youth games and stuff for basketball and football, and then figuring out that I'm actually going to be at a whole different school, and then now I've been here for the past 3 years.
What does it mean to be a Wolf?
It means everything. I've enjoyed being around everybody at this school, teachers, staff, the amount of coaches that I've had here. I've learned so much from a lot of people here, and I've just met a lot of people that have taught me a lot of great things.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Congratulations to Tex on the Beltline, which apparently also had a traffic report for us. It would bumper to bumper is the term that we will use. He used a different term, but bumper to bumper on the Beltline. So if you are, bumper to bumper, hopefully you're enjoying the show. And congrats to Tex, because you might not be living high life in the moment, but you will be when you come pick up your free case of High Life. Ready to live the high life at home? Now is your chance. This is super cool. Miller High Life is giving away one lucky winner the ultimate at-home backyard dive experience. The backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with a classic bar vibe, neon lights, and of course, plenty of High Life. I'm not eligible to win, but God, I love this. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bar in the Madison area and register with the link to Miller High Life Backyard Dive Bar Giveaway. Get a ticket to Dive Bar Glory at your local watering hole, like Shack Bar and Grill, Mount Vernon Tap, the Wisco, and the Keg in DeForest. We are Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are in the Everlight Solar studio. And Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown with you. Evan Cohen had some interesting thoughts, and I wanted to circle back on that before we transition to some of the positives and negatives of Goody as a drafter, because, Matt, you brought this up before, that, hey, they didn't do anything in free agency, so now draft's the time. Goody's draft philosophy, especially in the first round, doesn't lend itself to guys showing up big. If you are betting on someone for the Packers to show up big, it would be Van Ness this year. But he's trending more towards bust than busting out.
Big, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to get to what we were talking about a little bit with Evan and Aaron Rodgers. So where do you think he ends up, and what do you think the holdup is?
I just think he's wants attention. I really think that's it.
You just think he wants attention. That's why he's not doing anything?
I mean, kind of. I'm sure there's a reason for why he wants attention, but, there's always a reason with Aaron Rodgers.
Did you see the sad boy Aaron Rodgers photos? Now,
of him on the beach?
He didn't pose for him, but it was funny that there's, him wrapped in a towel, listening to something on his Wired, which is weird.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. The Wired headphones, nerd.
Wired headphones. Robert RFK Jr. probably told him it was, the Bluetooth causes cancer, and then obviously don't get immunized.
Better sound quality. Wired. That's why you have wired headphones right now, Jim.
Yeah, these were AirPods. These are not better sound quality than AirPods. Like, they were the wired Apple ones. Nobody says that they're
Yeah,
better.
those like fall out of your ears constantly.
And they're not good sound
can't
quality.
defend that.
They're
Can't
not
defend
good.
that.
Yeah, if they were that's
Yeah,
different.
because I got some Audio Technicas like you got right there that
So do
I
I,
use
yeah.
for the plane. I love them.
Yeah, but no, they were like the ones that come with. They used to come with your phone.
Sick. That's tight.
I don't know what he. Cool. I mean, he wasn't posing for it. It was just like people are like questions like, "What is he listening to?" And it just looks like sad boy Aaron Rodgers. No, you just caught him at this.
He was posing
the wrong
for
time.
it.
You think it was?
Yeah, because the paparazzi does not exist unless you call them. Who took that photo of him?
Oh,
who took it? It looked like he was on like a private beach or something.
It could
I
just
bet you
be
he was.
It could just be a random person on the beach who goes, "Oh, that's Aaron Rodgers over there."
Could have been a random fan, but
I think it wouldn't be random. I feel like you have to be a neighbor because like that picture looked like far enough away that you had to know it was Aaron Rodgers before you zoomed in and took it. Because it doesn't look 100. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers, but if you just saw him like his hair's wet, he's got a towel on, you had to know Aaron Rodgers lives there to make that guess that that's Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying again maybe it's the paparazzi. Otherwise, it's like a neighbor who someone knows that Aaron Rodgers is there. And there are people who are paid to take stuff, so I don't know the access and everything, but
that's the thing.
The photo is going to be posted up at ESPN Madison's YouTube. I can see Ryan work on it.
You can go wherever.
You think Aaron
he
Rodgers
probably
has
lives on like
lot
a
of them?
private Malibu one.
There are plenty of private beaches.
Yeah, I know there is, but there's a lot of beaches where you can just like you live on it, but it's like anyone can walk on the beach.
I understand. No, I get it.
I'm not going as far as Molly, but I think whoever took that photo knew it was Aaron before.
Molly is convinced that Rodgers was like, "Hey, get over here and take a picture of me."
You said he likes attention.
He
You don't
does.
think that Rodgers is calling the paparazzi like the Kardashians do? Yes, he does. He totally does. Totally does.
Robin Madison says he has wired headphones because he's poor. I don't think that's why.
I don't think that's why either.
Okay.
I just love how you said that. That was funny.
Noah and Madison chimes in. What do you think Brian has to do to get fired? Goody.
I mean,
something off the field.
Yeah. Like
literally, yeah.
Maybe that's the game. Maybe that's what we should have told Evan is like, if Goody went out and tried to get players every year and then had this like failure, this 85 instead of a 90, people would realize that he is not a good evaluator of talent. He just goes through the draft. It's like, hey, some guys hit, some guys don't. Like if you have this like low standard and you only go for draft players and you don't go out and get people, you can't be judged on how you do in free agency if you don't go get free agents. How do you judge somebody who doesn't try at something?
We can talk about that on the other side. We did have a side unlimited poll question. What's more important for the Badgers, winning the Big Ten tournament or getting healthy for the NCAA tournament? 70% of you say healthy for the NCAA tournament. You can chime in on that on the Carbos Talking text line. List is more 844-770-3776. I did see something that made me think about the poll question. Not worth it. That was Duke coach John Shire when asked about Cooper Flagg rushing back to play in the ACC tournament because he rolled his ankle today.
Right.
So doesn't matter. Now, Duke and Wisconsin are in different positions, and nobody on Wisconsin's got anything close to an NBA dream, let alone the first overall pick. So it makes sense, but to your point, not worth it to rush a guy because Duke, if they care about anything, it's getting to a title. Like they definitely have blue blood goals, and that's winning the NCAA tournament. This is Jim Matt and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports and Update brought to you by The Jump Around, ESPN Madison's Badgers-dedicated digital show. Join hosts Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias, plus Badgers forward Nolan Winter as a special featured guest, with new episodes debuting Thursdays at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. That included today when you can go back and watch Nolan Winter in a pre-recorded appearance on The Jump Around. Yes, we were not able to book him leading up to the Badgers game against Northwestern in the second round of the Big Ten tournament, where the Badgers did get a 70-63 win. Nolan Winter and John Tonje leading the way for Wisconsin with 18 points apiece. Nolan Winter appearing post-game with a shoulder ice wrap on his injured shoulder. Head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for more news, notes, and coverage of the Badgers heading into their next game against UCLA, which will be tomorrow at 1:30, once again on the Big Ten Network. Nolan Winter, Max Klesman, both coming back from injuries in today's game. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers officially signing cornerback Nate Hobbs earlier today. Hobbs was one of their two big signings in free agency this offseason. Him and lineman Aaron Banks from the 49ers. Stay tuned for the second hour of Jim, Matt, and Molly as we continue to discuss the Packers and all things green and gold.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Yeah, okay, a military wife,
you,
a deep sea fisherman,
Jim,
and a lead conductor for an orchestra. That was actually pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I think he's more of a game-changing player in the sense that he brings a sense of leadership and veteranship.
Veteranship.
What?
Veteran leadership?
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect words.
Where's the beef?
Yeah.
What's that one?
Where's the beef? It's from the commercial that sells beef.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. The Mods are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
We are in the Everlight Solar Studio. By we, I mean Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown with you. And you can get into the show on the Carbos Talk and Text line 844-770-3776. This is more Primetime Wollersheim Behind the Glass. And we're going to kind of circle back a little bit to some of the discussion we had yesterday's show. And you can listen back Wisconsin on Demand, Apple, Spotify, and those great places to hear yesterday's show. But, and actually all week, with this idea of the Packers, the draft and develop, and are they filling enough holes during free agency? And I've seen on Packers, you get into the Packers Twitter verse there a little bit, and you see some fans defending everything left and right, just pull out the sword and they have the white knight for the Packers. But other fans point out, like, hey, Goody said we needed to improve the pass rush. Didn't add anyone. Need to act with urgency.
Pressure.
Replace, whether you want to call it treading water or doggy paddling, replacing an offensive lineman with another offensive lineman is not a major move, and unless for some weird world they keep Jair Alexander, replacing Jair Alexander with a career nickel corner ain't it either. There are moves, and I'm not saying these players won't be good players for the Packers, but when you look at betting odds, the Detroit Lions betting odds for winning the Super Bowl went up with free agency. The Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, and all the top teams remained static. So everyone else has been either adding and subtracting enough to remain static. I wasn't able to find an article. The Packers weren't referenced, but the Detroit Lions Super Bowl odds have improved since free agency. But that brings us around to the draft. And if you're a draft and develop team, you got to be better at drafting, in my opinion. But Molly, you have some information for us.
Yeah. So in the 2020 draft, the only player left from that draft class, Jordan Love. He's the only one left on the roster because
go ahead.
A.J. Dillon was picked up by the Eagles yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 2021...
Well, let's go. Okay, so A.J. Dillon and then John Runyon, they both are playing somewhere else.
Yep.
But to your point, I think those are the only ones playing anywhere else. And I think you're going to get to it, so I'll let you finish.
Josiah DeGuara? Did he go anywhere? Josiah the Messiah?
Oh, Josiah the Messiah? I mean, he might...
To the training table?
Yeah, I don't know. He might be in a different line of work these days.
XFL?
I mean, he might be, spreading the mission. Who knows? He is a Messiah after all.
All right.
Okay.
Maybe be a coach with the Badgers.
There you go. And
Luke
then
Fickell, bring him around.
Oh, Cincy.
Yep, it's from Cincinnati.
Well, Luke Fickell doesn't have any of his Cincinnati guys with him anymore. That's part of the issue. Remember?
Gotcha. All right.
And then in the 2021 draft, Eric Stokes, he just got picked up by the Raiders the other day, and Josh Myers, he just got picked up by who did he go to?
The Jets.
Ah, yes, the Jets.
1 year, $3.5 million.
Reunited with Justin Fields, right? Didn't they play at Ohio State together? Am I mistaken in that?
Probably. They probably overlapped. Yeah.
So 3 of the guys that were his first and second round picks within 2 years are all off the roster, and they are all making cumulatively less than $10 million.
Basically like league minimum deals.
Yes.
Essentially what they went and signed for.
That is atrocious. We could run through his entire draft. I'm scrolling on a list that I found of all the years that he's been the GM, and half these names are just gone.
So let's go off
Right, there's
probably more than half.
Way more than half. Honestly, since 2018 let's exclude anyone from 2022 and on because they're not up for a second
TBD,
contract yet.
Yeah.
And if technically Jair Alexander is still on the team, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 players.
What? 4 players what?
That are still currently
on the roster
with a second contract,
roster.
Which is wild because
I would
that's
say
the
even look
standard
at the guys that are in the NFL anymore. Like, where are these guys even playing at? Josh Jackson from Iowa.
I don't believe he's
Tell
in the
me where
league.
he is.
I don't believe he's in the league.
Okay.
Amari Rodgers.
UFL. Star in the UFL.
Just crushing it, too.
But if you go back to 2019,
Best shape of his life.
Rashawn Gary, who I would say, and it's not his fault, has been overdrafted and overpaid.
Yep.
For his production.
Unfortunately.
Elton Jenkins, I would say for a second-round pick, that's good.
Late
Really-
second round.
Still, the second round, like what he's done, that's actually
solid.
It's good. Like, it's not exceeding expectations because a second rounder, you want someone who's going to be a long-term starter. So I would say, like, Rashawn Gary at 12, a little overdrafted, a little overpaid. Doubled down on him. Not a mistake, but you double down on it. Elton Jenkins, I would say, like, that's an A. You drafted the guy in the second round, and he's kind of hit exactly what you want. 2020, this is what I was going to ask you.
Well, what about Jair? That's a home run, right? Like, he was good for a fair bit of time. Like, his time's probably just ran
He's a
out.
2-time All-Pro.
Okay,
Right.
but
So,
it
like,
ended
Jair, that's
you didn't
another
get them, but you overpay. You're going to end up having a distressed asset. So I would give it like
It's an A. It's an A.
Oh, I'd give it an A minus.
It's a 2-time All-Pro. He was one of the 5 best corners in the
But
league.
now, like, he hates your team, and you have to give him away for peanuts, and he's still like a young man. That's why I'm going minus, A minus.
He's a young man who's had a history of not playing half the games in most seasons.
That accounts in this. So I'm going A minus.
Buy the A minus. I'll buy the A
I
minus.
can't give it an A. I give it an A minus. Rashawn Gary, I guess, is a B.
Yep.
Elton Jenkins, an A.
Maybe a C.
I would go C for Rashawn Gary.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say
Fine.
Okay,
C.
I'll say C.
Okay.
And Pro Bowler.
What about Jordan Love? Shut up with the Pro Bowl.
Nobody? I mean, Jordan Love right now is a top 5 paid quarterback in the league, and he's top 15 at best in most stats, maybe worse.
I give him a B.
That's a C.
C? Okay.
Wow.
C
Wow.
plus.
Whoa. Are you being critical?
Well, because here's
Am I
Packers?
wrong, though, about Jordan Love?
Here's what you'd have to consider with this, though, is that, remember, for as much as we crap on Aaron Rodgers, if you added a different player to motivate Aaron Rodgers in that window, there is a sliding doors moment where the Packers have another Super Bowl appearance, at least, by adding a player who was productive.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only did you draft Jordan Love, he was 3 years unproductive. And 3 years unproductive to then get to Jared Goff, when you had Aaron Rodgers and a chance to win a Super Bowl, that's disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, it's still a good player, so you got to give it a good grade overall. But, like, I get where Matt's coming from. When you account for the whole thing of it, if you moved off Aaron Rodgers and upset your quarterback and didn't draft a player to help you win a Super Bowl, and you gave up another draft pick, and you gave up that draft capital in a prime Super Bowl run, the opposite of what other teams do in this window, and Jordan Love doesn't turn out to be a top 5 QB, that is a tax on, I would say, the actual grade you'd give him.
I'd say even if he was a consistent top 10 quarterback in the league where you have no doubt if he lived somewhere between 4 and 7 for best quarterback in the league, I'd say that was well worth it. Job well done, Goody. But, because again, winning Super Bowl is hard. If Jordan Love can get to an NFC Championship game, that grade goes up to a B, maybe even an A.
All right, we can continue this on the other side, but shout out to Ben Bruss. I don't know if you guys know him from Badger Basketball and KBN.
Jim Rutledge, he's fake tough.
Chimes in with, to simplify it, it's 4 out of 47 draft picks from 2017 through 21 that are on the roster.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Bruss is
I mean, honestly, Ben, who do you think you are?
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. I think J&K Security Solutions is fantastic. They've been Madison's trusted name in security, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner. They're your one-stop shop for all things security, from cutting-edge intercom systems for your office to simply replacing that old lock on your front door. They've got you covered. With a network of top-tier suppliers, they create customized solutions tailored just for you. At J&K, customer service is their top priority, and your peace of mind is always their mission. Visit them today at jksecurity.com and experience the J&K difference. Your home, your business, their priority. Don't quote me. Next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
We don't speak about her.
About rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semra with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Tyler Haney, Sun Prairie West.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you started out at Sun Prairie.
Yeah.
And freshman year, new school opens. What was that like?
It was definitely a shocker because we were at Chums still, so I wasn't even at the high school, but I was playing for our Sun Prairie team. Growing up, I was like, this is going to be my high school when I went to all these youth games and stuff for basketball and football, and then figuring out that I'm actually going to be at a whole different school, and then now I've been here for the past 3 years.
What does it mean to be a Wolf?
It means everything. I've enjoyed being around everybody at this school, teachers, staff, the amount of coaches that I've had here. I've learned so much from a lot of people here, and I've just met a lot of people that taught me a lot of great things.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at princetonclub.net.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Unity Point Health Meritor is proud to be ESPN Madison's Mental Health Month sponsor this March. Explore resources at unitypoint.org/Madison. With the right support, every child and teen can find a path to better mental health.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton with you. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass. You can see all of our fantastically beautiful faces on the ESPN Madison YouTube, and you also had a chance during the commercial break to see sad boy Aaron Rodgers on a beach in California. Do you think he played that, like, the California skit, California, which I think is from, like, the OC, the theme song from the TV show The OC? And do you think that was playing for Aaron Rodgers? It's kind of like a really corny 90s poppy song.
He was probably listening to like a soundscape, not a song.
That's what I was thinking. Like a sound bath.
I actually think like he was listening to himself on the Pat McAfee show.
Oh my God, could you imagine? No, because then he would have to watch himself too. So he would have been holding his phone out so then he could see his face. He's so
He was listening to ocean sounds on the beach in his headphones. That's what I mean.
Oh my God.
And by ocean sounds, I obviously mean dolphins.
It's 5:25. Do you know where your happy hour is? It should be at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Go to the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour. Go say hi to Lee and Kevin and the whole team at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Burger, steak, sashimi, fried calamari. Get an old fashioned, get a Coors Light. You're going to have a great time at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Let's get to Don't Quote Me.
We're not saying it's gonna happen,
Let it ride!
but if it does, then we want credit.
Say that again, because that is an amazing take.
I told you all.
If not, well,
Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said.
Yeah, guys, we got to bring back some Don't Quote Me's because it went so well for us last time, right, guys? We made our Don't Quote Me predictions right before Molly Brown got back. So Jim, Matt, and I all made our predictions for the free agency period for what the Packers would do. Well, Jim had the Packers getting Josh Sweat and Chris Godwin in free agency.
Was I drunk? I don't know why.
You thought they were going to make some big splashes.
I guess so. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, these are Don't Quote Me predictions, remember. These are the long shot predictions where if they don't happen, you can't quote us.
I think I just gave you my worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, how?
As a Bears fan, it would have been really stressful and devastating if the Packers had added Godwin and Sweat.
There you go. There you go. So, if we do get these right, we get credit, but if we don't, doesn't matter because you can't quote us. That's the segment. So then, I won't be quoting whoever said Packers would sign Chase Young and Marquise Brown. I believe Marquise Brown went off the board like 3 days after that prediction. Matt?
Yep, that was me.
Yep. And then my own prediction being very off as well, saying the Packers would trade Quay Walker for Deebo Samuel and then sign Zach Bond. Zach Bond's making the highest paid free agent as a linebacker this offseason, once again with the Philadelphia Eagles, and then Deebo Samuel getting traded to the Commanders. I was pretty far off, too.
Or like a fourth rounder?
I believe so, yeah.
Fifth, I think.
Yeah.
Fifth?
Yeah. Well, it's
a lot of money comes with them, that's why.
Money and about 20 extra pounds, apparently, according to some of the reports about Deebo Samuel's current fitness status.
I'll tell you what, it's not affecting Luka, so.
Well, somewhat different sports, I would say. Different
Just
hits.
a quick side note, did you see that, is it Southwest Airlines that added they took away the, no check
That's what I
bags?
heard.
But they responded, people are upset, and they're like, relax, people, it's not like we traded Luka. Like, that was on their social.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Milwaukee Bucks take on the Los Angeles Lakers tonight, by the way, 6:30. You can hear that one right here on 100.5 ESPN.
And the Bucks are wearing the badge there for. They are wearing the. You sent it to me.
They are wearing the Junior Bridgman badge.
Yes.
In commemoration.
Or a stripe, however you want to do it.
Yes.
So good for them because I don't know. You guys saw Shaq. You guys saw people from around the league talk about Junior Bridgman's impact. Shaq, honestly, Shaq talked about Junior Bridgman was one of the most influential people in his life because there's so much talk about athletes losing all their money within 3 years. and Junior Bridgman is like the poster child for how to do exactly the opposite.
Right. Don't make a ton of money in your career as a basketball player and then turn it into billions.
And Shaq's turned that into billions himself too.
Yeah.
He followed that mindset.
Yeah, much like Matt Hamilton as a curler. But or as a radio host making predictions about free agency, which is why, guys.
And making billions.
Making billions. Yes, Matt Hamilton. Which is why we want to come back to make some more Don't Quote Me long shot predictions. Now, since free agency is pretty much settled, there's going to be some Don't Quote Me trade predictions. Or I guess we should say free agency landing spot predictions. So there's still a few, quarterback carousel's pretty unsettled still. Packers could be in the realm for a trade somewhere. Trey Hendrickson's still on the market. So, guys, why don't we get into it? What are some of our long shot Don't Quote Me predictions? Possible trades, possible final free agent landing spots. Jim Rutledge, why don't you get us started off?
All right, so are we going to try to do the same players, or are we just kind of making our own?
You come with your own. Make your own prediction.
I think Trey Hendrickson's going to end up in Detroit.
Oh. That would be so brutal.
It would. I think he could end up in Detroit. I've seen that at least floated around as a rumor. And that defense, Hutchinson, Hendrickson, that is a defense that nobody wants to see. And I think that fits, Dan Campbell's style. So that'll be my bold prediction on him. I'm going to say Russell Wilson. This isn't bold, so let me figure this out here. I'm going to say the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers will end up being Kirk Cousins. I think Aaron Rodgers ends up with the Giants, Jameis Winston to the Vikes, and Russell Wilson to Cleveland.
Ooh.
Said Jameis Winston to the Vikings?
Mm-hmm.
Jameis.
That'd be interesting.
Famous Jameson.
He's a wild card, but if let's say JJ isn't fully healthy or they want his he can get you 2-2. Depending on, I don't know how their season starts, but he wins some games. He lets it rip. And I think would be the most supportive human being on the face of the earth. I think I said this before. You could pull him after 10 plays in a game, and he'd be giving J.J. McCarthy a big hug, being like, all right, let's go get it, big dog. I think that kind of energy you'd want from a vet in that room, too.
I wouldn't mind him going to the Vikings. That'd be better for the Packers.
You take him on the Packers, though, too, as a backup? Jameis, you take...
we got Malik Willis.
Pretty good.
Okay, let's go.
All right, Molly Brown, why don't you take us from there then? What is your Don't Quote Me prediction for free agency and trades?
Okay, so mine is different than how Jim structured his, but I did date mine in the event that this happens, so then I have it notarized that I predicted that this was going to happen. Mine is Aaron Rodgers will go to the Vikings. He will take them to the NFC Championship. And then he will throw a game-ending interception, and they will lose. So they will not go to the Super Bowl. So he's going to be very Brett Favre.
Yeah, he's doing the Brett Favre.
Yes, so I am going beyond free agency. But if we want to bring it to, Packers.
I guess we are in Packers country.
Let's say, you know what, Ryan? We talked about this earlier. I hope you didn't use this for yours. Okay.
Go for it.
We'll say Jair Alexander goes to the Vikings. So then it's Aaron Rodgers, Jair Alexander, and Aaron Jones all in the Green Bay Packers, or all in the Minnesota Vikings.
Gross.
You like that?
No, I hate that. I hate that. Truly.
Would you be rooting for the Minnesota Packers or what?
No. That's one thing. You do not have to worry about me pulling a Jesse Nelson and abandoning ship.
But it would track if Aaron Rodgers went there, because then he just pulls a bunch of old, washed-up Packers to his new team.
Yeah.
I don't know if Aaron Jones washed up.
Nah,
I don't know if Jair's
I love Aaron
washed.
Jones, so I shouldn't say that about him. But just to make myself feel better about him being a Minnesota Vikings, I'll just say that he's washed up. Even though it's not accurate.
Make sure to direct it at your husband as well. Make sure he knows. All right, Matt Hamilton, you finish us off here. What is your Don't Quote Me prediction for free agency and trades?
How about this for the Packers? Big, bold move. Goody does nothing until the draft.
That's not a bold move.
That's not that bold? That's not bold enough? All right, we'll add to it.
If you say that he's going to get rid of some picks, yeah, that'd be bold.
No, he's not. He is going to take every draft pick available to him, and he's not going to move up or down in the draft. Goody it's literally going to do nothing. He's going to sit on his hands until the draft. And then, let's say Aaron Rodgers.
Water's wet.
doesn't go anywhere. Aaron Rodgers does not get picked up on a football team. Russell Wilson goes to the Giants. Kirk Cousins to Pittsburgh. And yeah, I'm cool with Jameis going and backing up.
I just don't really know what else is out there. Like, this is the start. Like, he's started plenty of games.
Yeah, I'm going to say Rodgers retires.
I mean, backup.
How's that for the Bulls?
There you go.
Goody
Okay.
does
Yeah, that's
nothing.
bold.
Rodgers retires, and Russ ends up in New York.
Gardner Minshew did just sign with the Chiefs, so there are backup positions available in the league that we might not even be thinking about.
Which is weird because he was let go for failing a physical with the Raiders.
Interesting.
That physical meant could have been like, we don't want you here anymore.
Yeah,
so
we physically can't handle you here.
yeah, this will work out better for both of us if you said you failed the physical. Then maybe they asked him to throw left-handed instead of right-handed.
Yeah.
Like, this guy can't throw. Do you have a don't quote me?
I do have one don't quote me. So my prediction, I guess, will be the only one that's actually Packers related. My prediction, because I want the Packers to succeed this offseason, and for me to feel good as a Packers fan, I think there's really one option left, and that's Trey Hendrickson. So I've been scouring the NFL trade machine, trying to find any way to bring him to Green Bay. Guys, I think the only reason that the Aaron Banks signing might make sense is if we're also trading away an offensive lineman this offseason. Why don't the Packers trade away their up-and-coming left tackle, Rasheed Walker, to the Cincinnati Bengals in order to acquire Trey Hendrickson? The Bengals obviously need all the O-line help they can get. It's been the biggest issue for them over the past few years. And guys, just because Goody wants to sweeten the deal a little bit, he's sending Jair too. It's the reason Jair hasn't been released or traded yet.
So no picks.
He'll also
There's got to be a pick
he'll
in
also
there.
probably send a second or first round pick along with it.
Okay.
It's a hefty price.
The Bengals have no money.
The Bengals have no money, but if they get Rasheed Walker, they can cut Orlando Brown and save, it would look like, around $25 million, which would help them sign T. Higgins. And then if they're moving off Trey Hendrickson, that salary is no longer on the books either. But they do get a young up-and-coming left tackle to help protect Joe Burrow. It's a win-win for all teams. Green Bay Packers to the Super Bowl.
There is not a
love
left
that.
tackle in the league who has shorter arms than 33 inches.
I'm not. Oh,
Jordan Morgan, 32 and 7/8.
First round pick. If they keep it, the Packers, they're drafting a left tackle.
Oh, so Jordan Morgan, complete waste then.
He might be a backup, but I'm fine with it. Honestly, if you have extra depth, what did the Eagles win with? Winning in the trenches.
True.
Surplus trench help. That's why they're getting Trey Hendrickson. That's why they signed Aaron Banks.
Surplus trench help.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hope they do.
Yep.
All right, this is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We're throwing stones next.
Hey, this is Matt's Chicago Doppelganger. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Dinner just got easier and tastier. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Hut Bundle is here to save the day. Starting at just $24.99, you can get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings in your favorite flavor, and your choice of cinnamon, cheese, or breadsticks with 2 dips. Feed the family or wow your friends without breaking the bank. The Ultimate Hut Bundle is only here for a limited time. Hurry in and order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris are joined by Bucks head coach Doc Rivers. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Yeah, it's over. I'm circling these boxes. Got me praying, man, this hunger. I'm feeling something rotten. Feeling kind of tilted, and I'm pouring out the truth. Just fading out these talkers, 'cause now all I
Jim,
want
Matt,
is
Molly
you.
continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I do have the power. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. And we did have Daniel the landscaper, chime in about Luka, saying he lost 20 pounds. That's my point, that Samuel going to the 49ers, or from the 49ers to the Commanders, I think he can drop that weight pretty quick. And so I think you got an unmotivated player who I think was hurt a lot last year, and I think if he did add that weight, I think Washington's counting on him just getting back to how he's been his entire life, which is a professional type guy who shows up ready to play. Speaking of Luka, it's Giannis versus Luka tonight. The Milwaukee Bucks at Pfizer Forum. I mean, 3 minutes ago, ESPN Milwaukee put out a picture of both of them shooting and warming up, and says Giannis versus Luka tonight. So,
well, I just know that Giannis and Dame are game time decisions.
Okay,
they'll definitely go out for the shoot around. I'm just saying, just warning you.
You just love reading the random box score stuff, and then
I just had it.
Portraying
something
that as
I
an NBA
already
expert.
had. I didn't just read it. It's not even pulled up right now.
Matt's trying to figure out whether he wants to put money on the Lakers or the Bucks tonight, obviously.
Well, I mean, I knew that obviously Brown's not playing, so I was like, oh, that kind of stinks for whoever wanted to go to this Lakers game. Like, if you'd have bought this ticket at the beginning of the season,
so
you're like, oh, Giannis first.
Okay, so
if you bought it at the beginning of the season, Luka wasn't on the team at
Right,
the time.
exactly. That's
so
what
that's
I'm
what I
saying.
want to ask.
What
If
a
you lose
crazy
LeBron, you
bonus
get to see
this would have
Luka.
been.
So that's what I want to ask, and I'll ask for our throwing stone. Let's throw some stones.
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out.
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
So, also worth noting, as of 5 o'clock, Giannis and Dame, are probable.
Oh,
okay.
Excellent.
Let's go.
So, yeah.
So they were elevated since Matt last looked.
You know what I just learned, and I guess I'll just pat myself. I didn't know the Milwaukee Bucks followed me. I feel special.
People like
Why do
me.
they follow you? No offense.
Because you're for his Big J journalism degree.
Big J
His
journalism.
Big J.
Judgmental Jim.
Hey, you got to pick a letter to be big at. I'm Big J.
Well, okay.
All right. So the question is, well, and I also a little bit of news here, and I'm not even going to bother. Ryan, the Bears have signed a new slot receiver. What's his name?
Olamide Zaccheaus. Why do you care so much about this?
Olamide.
Well, I just wanted to share the news.
He's a Bear fan.
You just wanted to say his name, but
Yes.
didn't want to say his name?
Yes, so that's been added there. So again, Chicago continuing to add players. 45 catches last year for 500 yards. So
Oh,
Packers-
he's a receiver?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know who
He's
he
like
was, so.
a slot receiver.
Okay.
You don't know
From
Olamide
Washington.
Zaccheaus? Come on.
Wow.
He was part of the trade that sent Jahan Dotson to the Eagles.
Yeah.
That was the swap, essentially.
So what team did he play with before?
He was on Washington. He was drafted by the Eagles.
Correct.
Traded
Gotcha.
to Washington. Now a Bear. Regular
Still
journeyman
gonna
at
see.
24.
27.
27.
All right, so throwing stones. You brought up the LeBron not playing tonight. Side note, did you guys see his horrendous flop with the Jason Tatum against those on Sunday on ESPN?
Like, didn't even touch him, but he just...
Yeah, like maybe he grazed the actual hair on his beard, and he acted like he was punched in the face. What? Like, the sockerification of the NBA is really pathetic. Like, stop. Just stop with that.
The problem is, every once in a while, if you sell it a little bit, you're going to get rewarded with a foul, and there's no
But if
reason...
you're LeBron James, you're better than that, right?
You would like to think, but no.
I mean, it's something he's done his whole career.
And it's
once
pathetic.
It
He
started
gets
happening.
buried for it forever.
Yeah, for sure. But again, this is part of this era.
No, it's him.
Lots of play, like
stars.
tons and tons.
Stars? I don't see a lot of stars flopping.
Jalen
like this.
Brunson does
yeah,
this
that's who came to my
But
mind,
Jalen Brunson's
too.
not a star. LeBron James.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
No, I'm sorry. This is like Durant.
Oh, okay. How about his teammate, Luka Doncic? He's flopping all over the place.
I
He's
love
European.
Luka, but
He's European.
Oh, so it's a caveat. It's a
Soccer
count?
player. He basically probably grew up playing soccer.
oh, come on.
He played. He's
No,
European.
I'm just saying this is the era that we're in. Like it or hate it.
I hate it.
I think
it's
that's kind of what makes this era of NBA basketball
Seem
incredibly difficult to watch.
It's soft.
It's fun to watch when it comes to playoffs and all that stuff, but then like when you're watching that, it's just like Steph Curry does it too. He does.
And probably not as egregiously.
But also,
as
like Steph
often,
Curry is like
I'm
one of
with
the
ya.
smaller guys on the floor, and LeBron James is one of the biggest, strongest men on the
I get
floor.
it. But there's a whole list of people. Jimmy Butler does it. There's so many people that do it.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart. I mean, I know he's not a big name anymore now that he's not with Boston, but he always did it.
Yeah, but okay, this specific flop, like, you was passed, you barely grazed. Like, it's one thing to like try to draw a charge. It's another thing to flop like you got punched in the face.
Yeah, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm not
There
saying
is a
it's right.
fine
I'm
line
saying
to
it's
it.
annoying.
So
It's like the-
all I'm saying is he's gotten rewarded for it before, so why would he quit?
Mm-hmm.
He has no incentive to not do it.
Because it's pathetic. All right, the question was, I wanted to get to, if you were buying a ticket, let's say, and LeBron James and Luka were going, like, who would you be more, like, if you could only see one play, Luka or LeBron, who are you picking?
See, that's
For
tough.
this game tonight, I'd rather see LeBron because Luka's young. LeBron might be done in a year or two. Never get a chance to see one of the best ever to do it.
Have you seen LeBron play?
I don't know. I have not in person. Obviously, plenty
seen-
of
yeah.
television, but I've never seen LeBron James in person before.
I have, but again, it's not.
And it's just one of those things. Like, regardless of how you feel about him, he's gonna go down as one of the best ever, and like that would be a cool little thing, especially when how old's Luka? Luka 25,
26?
He's 25. I'll double check.
Like,
but yeah.
I thought he was
you
younger
have
than
time.
that, so
you have
yeah.
time to go see him, most likely.
24, is he?
I think he's 25.
He's very young.
So that
See, but he's really good right now, though.
totally.
So that's also
I get that.
the other side of it, where
Where-
LeBron.
yeah, where's your head?
See, my mind initially goes to, well, LeBron's almost done, exactly like what you said. That it's like I want to see him now, but I have seen him play. So, I guess taking out if I hadn't seen him play, it'd be okay. He's at the end of his era. I kind of want to see him play before he's done, but also at the same time, he's not the peak LeBron that you think of playing. Like he's an old man now. Yeah,
Right.
is he still good? Of course he is, but
He picks
he's
his
an old
spot.
man.
I'm a man.
Yeah,
I'm
so it's
40.
like I think I would, and maybe it's just because I'm biased too, because I love Luka. I think I would rather see Luka just because he's so good. He's so fun to watch. Luka's probably my favorite NBA player.
I don't think there's a wrong answer here. It's just kind of like your vibe.
Luka is 26, by the way.
I was right.
Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Millions of dollars are won every sinsingle weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Who just Who was that?
That was Molly.
Okay.
Molly's a snorter, and she makes weird noises when she laughs.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Ready to live the high life at home? Miller High Life is giving one lucky winner the ultimate backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with classic bar vibes, neon lights, and of course, plenty of high life. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bars in the Madison area and register with the link to the Miller High Life Backyard Dive Bar giveaway. Get a ticket to Dive Bar Glory at your local watering hole, like the Shack Bar and Grill, Mount Vernon Tap, the Wisco, and the Keg in DeForest.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Simple to play. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do, pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball and hockey, esports, and much, much more. Second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. And don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Warren Moon literally comes up to me, and he moons me while I'm on with Wildy and Tausch.
I'm sorry, what?
He mooned me while I was doing a Zoom with Wildy and Tausch.
Hold on. Bare butt?
No. He had suit pants on, but I mean, he came over and he mooned me. It happened.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes, no more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Dame, and catch the comments post-game about what happened. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now, bucks.com/plus or Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcast. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Milwaukee Bucks basketball is coming up right at 6 o'clock. Bucks versus the Lakers. Bucks have been sliding a little bit here. And then after that, on ESPN Madison's YouTube, we have boys sectional final, Wanakee versus Verona. Hunter and Dennis on the call. That'll start at 7 o'clock on ESPN Madison's YouTube stream here. David Deerfield said Jim just whines because he's afraid people might compare him to his first true love, Jordan.
People
and he's
like
talking about
me.
LeBron. Dave, honestly, I don't even see that outside of people who never saw Jordan play. I think that's dead and buried. LeBron has a more impressive career, but Jordan dominated the league in a way that LeBron never did. The most dominant winner in LeBron James era very well could be Steph Curry. And then you got Tim Duncan in there as well.
Can I bring it back with a question for Wisconsin sports?
Yeah.
Evan Cohen earlier on the show said, don't compare Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Which gap is bigger? Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes to Rodgers, or LeBron to Michael Jordan?
Ooh, good question.
Oh, that's a really good one. The Brady to Rodgers is larger.
That's a bigger gap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't have I have LeBron now. This is my own personal. I have LeBron 3.
This is why the Bucks follow you.
Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, but I don't have Aaron Rodgers 3 or 4. I mean, like if he's not on the Mount Rushmore, correct? Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Of just NFL or quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks.
No, he can't be.
Peyton, Tom, then you got Patrick.
Patrick will be. I don't think you can say he is yet.
See already?
Who would you have? I mean, he's got 3. How many guys
I was
have
going to
3?
say Patrick
Joe
Mahomes.
Montana.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
And also Peyton Manning, John Elway. I mean,
John Elway's got 2.
Yeah, but he was he went to what, 5? I mean, that says a lot.
But hasn't Patrick gone to 5?
Flutie went to 4.
Patrick's, how many Super Bowls does Patrick have? Does he have 3?
What are you talking about, Doug Flutie?
Didn't he get to 4 with Buffalo?
Jim Kelly.
Oh, Jim Kelly. That's what I'm thinking of. Jim Kelly.
Doug Flutie was a backup on one of those teams, I think, right?
I think he was. I know he was a Bill, but yes, it was Jim Kelly.
He was actually a Bear. He was drafted by the Bears.
That's what it was, yeah.
It's okay. I said laces out, Dan, when we were talking about Doug Flutie the other day. So
yeah, that's true.
Dan Marino maybe deserves to be on the list too, or on the Mount Rushmore.
Well, okay, Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers are closer than Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
Isn't Aaron Rodgers pretty close with like Steve Young too?
Honestly, realistically, I'll say it like this: and Dan Marino is one of the most talented and gifted quarterbacks you'll ever see play. I would say that Aaron Rodgers is Dan Marino with a Super Bowl. And Dan Marino got to one. He just lost his. They're the same players, just Aaron got a Super Bowl win in his appearance in the Super Bowl, and Dan didn't. But the numbers are massive. The wild throws are massive. The regular season wins are massive. They are now. The slight difference is Dan's the only. Well, I guess there was Greasy there as well, but there's obviously a little bit of the Favre Rodgers side of things with the multiple guys as the face of the franchise. But Dan Marino is a Hall of Fame quarterback and one of the greatest athletes you'll ever see play the quarterback position and make the throws, and has an incredible arm. And people say, oh, Aaron Rodgers was Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes. Dan Marino was all these guys before they were these guys. Like Dan Marino was known as probably right there with John Elway as one of the best arms in all of football.
Does Rodgers have the most NFL? Granted, it's single individual award, but he has the most MVPs, right?
No, I believe he's tied with Peyton Manning. I believe
With 4 each.
I think Peyton actually had 5. I will look that up.
Daniel Landscaper says, Jim, you need to watch the LeBron years from 2010 to 2018. Most dominant player in the league by far.
Yeah, how many rings did he win?
He says, you're such a LeBron hater. Your only argument is his championships at this point. To put
Judgmental
Kobe
Jim.
in second is just stupid.
Sorry, I just said that's my own personal. I think Kobe Bryant dominated the league in a way. Like, he didn't need to go chase championships and bring people in. Like, LeBron had to find 2 other guys to play with. It was Kobe and Shaq. Jordan and Pippen. LeBron James has played with more Hall of Famers than any of those guys. And again, LeBron James' career might be the greatest career of all time. But if my life's on the line, I'm going Jordan and Kobe over LeBron to win a basketball game. Pressure. That's it. That's the way I look at it. But Dan Marino, 1 MVP, so that does work against him. But I don't count. MVPs are not as important to me as they are.
By the way, Peyton Manning did have 5 MVPs and
right.
2 Super Bowl wins, 4 appearances.
9 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pro, MVP for Dan Marino. And, 61,000 passing yards, 420 touchdowns. And this was in an era where you did not throw the ball like that. And he was 14-2. I'm sorry, his best record was 14-2 when they win his MVP season. 5,000 yards. And that's in the 16-game season, 48 touchdown passes. I mean, Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers, I think they're very similar players, and that's not a disrespect to Aaron Rodgers. I just think Aaron's got the ring. And
is it a disrespect to Dan Marino?
No, Dan lost his Super Bowl.
We didn't even bring up Eli Manning either in the Mount Rushmore.
He's not.
He doesn't. He shouldn't be there.
He's there with Terry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger.
He has more Super Bowls.
Yeah, but there's a sliding scale here. Like Robert Horry's not on the top list. He's got 6 or 7 rings. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
See ya.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
Hey, it's Matt Hamilton here, and as a proud Wisconsinite, I'm all about supporting local. And there's nothing more local than Metcalf's Market. St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and Metcalf's Market has you covered for your Shamrock festivities. Find deals on corned beef brisket, sauerkraut, and great produce like carrots, cabbage, and potatoes. Don't forget to stop by their deli department for the classics like Reuben sandwiches, beef stew, and corned beef brats. Visit their locations at Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or in Wauwatosa today. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
All right, Madison, let's face it. Predicting the bracket is hard, but enjoying a month of nonstop college basketball is easy, especially when it's paired with the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light is giving you a shot to attend the ultimate watch party in Vegas for the final days of the tournament. Just go to budlight.com/easypicks to enter for your chance to win. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 plus. Begins on 1/6/25 ends 3/30/25. Multiple entry periods. Visit budlight.com/easypicks for free entry deadlines, and official rules. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station. 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Sports Center updates on 100.5 ESPN are brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit Metro Kia.
Tonight, the Bucks welcome the Los Angeles Lakers to Fiserv Forum.
Gary Trent, deep corner three, and he splashes it through. The Bucks have vaulted back ahead by 2.
Alongside the voice of the Bucks, Dave Kane. Here's Bucks studio host Justin Garcia.
Back at home for the first of 3 games here inside of Fiserv Forum, and tonight a Western Conference opponent in the Los Angeles Lakers. Good evening, Bucks fans. I'm Justin Garcia, joined as always by the voice of the Bucks, Dave Kane, as we get you set for tonight's showdown. And Dave, no LeBron James in this one tonight, but the Bucks will have to contend with Luka Doncic.